User was moved to your channel.
So, hello everyone and welcome to the second running of the IVRC Bathurst 200. My name is Konstantin Grimminger and I'm joined today by my co-host Mark Stwerker.
Hello Konstantin and hello out there.
Yeah, we're all very excited to see what happens today as we can just see the clock ticking down towards the 0 mark, and then we will be ready for the racing action unfolding here at the famous Mount Panorama circuit in Bathurst, where we will use the supercars, of course, slightly modified but stock content from Razor, and we will see a newcomer on pole, Juan Carrillo, and we will looking forward to see what he's able to do for his team. And quite a lot of faces we've seen in the past and the present at the IVRC Championship, but it's gonna be it's a huge shake-up in the grid in general. As last year we were only 6 runners, and the poleman winner and driver of the fastest lap last year, Matthew Ellington, will start only in 7th. But we are now looking forward to see what will happen during the races. Mark, anything you want to add before we start?
Nothing to add at the moment, Stan. I guess it will be a great race.
Perfect. That's what I expect as well. The clock has now ticked down to 0, and we will start the race in a few seconds' time. So, that all being said, the race control has now declared that we are ready to race, and this means we are already in the race session, and looking forward to see the drivers going out onto the grid and then go underway from where they should start. As I said before, we will see some good racing action coming up from today's race. The poleman absolutely swiped away the field in the qualifying, but after all, that can happen, and the race usually tells a completely different story. We will see, as I said before, just going through the top 10 very quickly. Juan Carrillo will start from pole position ahead of Tanguy van der Wege. Lucas Murno will start in 3rd ahead of Daniel Nieto in 4th. Karl Magnus Borre will start in 5th, and that should be it for the moment as we now look onto the grid from 5th. And we will see now the lights go on at any moment in time. Here we are, the lights going on. Tanguy van der Wege is already rolling slightly, but that shouldn't hamper him from a good start. The guys are underway.
It's a brilliant start.
Yeah, it is an absolutely brilliant start from the goal from the Dutchman, the Holden right there, and he got off just like a rocket. And right there behind, we can see someone flying off. Yeah, that was an MPG competition car for sure. But we can see Juan Carrillo already wants to get back his first position. He is already attacking Van der Wege for the lead, but Van der Wege is on the inside for the next turn, and that should mean that Van der Wege just should have it for the moment. As we all have a quick look through the grid as soon as these cars have passed the sector 1 mark. Carrillo going around the outside. That's a brilliant move a very bold move to try. But Van der Wege can still defend, and these guys are now up in the twisty but super fast mountain section of the circuit, and we've seen something quite extraordinary. 21 cars racing up the straight at the Mount Panorama circuit. It's always something so great to watch, and we are now basically have seen the starting procedure happen. You can see Mono stayed in 3rd, Mono is up in 4th, Ellington moved up quite some places to be in 5th as well. And it looks like we've lost Nieto on the way slightly. He lost 4 positions, and also Carlos Frau seems to be gone for the moment. But here we are, top 4, top 5 even, look to be very safe for the moment.
And it must have been pretty much contact at the beginning in the first corner. I guess Loreto is already out of the race.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. As we watched Daniel Nieto, but slightly ahead of the fight, what's going on. Jesus Chirinos, oh, that was a close. Chirinos is on the grass in the braking zone. There's contact between these two, and Jesus Chirinos is now up in the grass right there, and that made Nieto profit at least for 2 places. The other guy was Andre Leite, who just signed up this very morning, and still he's here and he's racing in the top 10 in the upper half. And now there's further contact as Chirinos went up. There's Ottavio Barros in the blue Nissan, which we look at right now, also involved. And we have yellow flags ahead, and there's a very slow MPG car. Is that Carlos Frau, who's been AFK in the first corner? That's very, very interesting to see what's going on right there. And I can hear now someone reporting to me that we have slightly technical difficulties with the second commentator. I'll try to improve that in a few moments' time. But here we are. You can see up ahead Pablo Lopez fighting with Ottavio de Barros for 8. These guys, and Lopez spins out. Lopez is into the wall for sure, but he can continue his way up the mountain. And we have seen something, some crazy racing action already. And we have just 32 laps to go, so 200 kilometers basically. And these guys are fighting already as it's the last lap. But you know, even the 1 hour long, a little bit more than 1 hour long race is driven like a sprint race as it is nowadays. And there's someone upside down. Yeah, that's
flipping.
Absolutely crazy. I wonder what happened there. We will just quickly go into the replay and see what has happened there.
Yeah, check that. Looks like a driving mistake. There's no one there. Oh my goodness! He flipped over the curb.
Yeah, he did. It's a very unfortunate chain of events for him. But it looks like he can continue, so that's good news for him in the worst case scenario. And he will try to rejoin the field over the course of the race, or basically make his way up. He was in 7th, if I'm not wrong, and that was a very good position compared to his start, where he was he started in 10th. And yeah, he will definitely look forward as we now just look onto the other cars in the field. That being said, we just hear that there's indeed some issues with the second commentator, so we might leave you alone with the pedal a little bit, with the pictures of it at least, while we try to fix all our issues and then get back with the commentary as it should be. Mark, short statement on the opening session, or on the opening few laps.
Yeah, Tanjo did a really good job from the beginning. He had to go on the defensive line the whole uphill section, but was able to stay in front of Carrillo. The rest of the pack just tried to manage and hold any of their positions. Pretty much stuff going on till now. Looking forward for the rest of the race.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We've seen some crazy action going on, and as I try to get back onto the session so I can actually commentate and control whatever's going on. Very interesting to see what will happen in the next few laps, and here we are right now. Can you take over for a second, because I'm trying to fix my issues right here.
I guess we've got the same problem at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's very unfortunate, but we should be able to fix it at a moment's time now. Absolutely perfect. Here we are. We can look see Fran Rodriguez in 10th. He started in 17th, so he gone basically the complete opposite way of. Who's flipped? Dovidas Lauda Avicius. It was.
And we see Carrillo in the front now.
And we can see also Matthew Allington. Yeah, exactly. Change of the lead, as you said it. Carrillo just made the move out of the last corner against Van der Wege, and we will look at that, of course, to see what was going on. And Carrillo actually floating for me in the replay. Very interesting overtaking technique.
Van der Wege made a little mistake there.
Yeah, exactly.
Ran a bit too wide.
Yeah, exactly, and yes, thus made the Mustang profit from all of the action that was going on. And around the outside, still, that's a brilliant move to make from Carrillo. A very good move indeed. And you just saw Mono drifting in the background out of the last corner. But these two guys are fighting for the opening 4 laps right now. They will. This looks very promising. If that goes on over the course of the full race, we will see some fantastic changes for the lead and some fantastic lead battles for sure.
Ottavio De Barros also DNF at the moment. There must something happened with, I guess, Carlos maybe?
Unfortunately, we cannot see in the replay, so we will switch back to the live pictures and see what's going on. What I just noticed before was that the last year's winner, Matthew Ellington, was struggling slightly, and he's now DNF'd. Yes, DNF'd. Wow, he's out of the race. And that just happened very recently. We can see that right here, and he was spinning in the gravel. It looks like he was trying to go to the pits.
That looks like a puncture. So
yes,
we can't
exactly.
really control the car. It's just spinning around. Yeah, that must have been a puncture.
Yeah, indeed. Very, very unfortunate for him. He was the first one, aside from you, to carry out the number 1 in IVRC, right? And you can also see Martinas Grevelitus, one of the one of 4 Lithuanians in the grid, riding without a bonnet right now, but it looks like he's absolutely fine and still flying down the main straight as everyone else is. While also we will look at P15 right now. To be fair, to be in 15 doesn't sound that good. And
is going off track.
Exactly.
Hitting the wall.
It was
but
just
still in the race.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that being in P15 doesn't sound that good, but if you have a 21 car field in any race online, you know, P15 can be quite some success sometimes. And Saulius Lauderevicius is in 14th. His car looking very pristine at the moment, so he might have a good chance to go away without any damage. Ryan Matsumda in 13th, just behind Laszlo Teglas in 12th. He's racing for Shadow Team by RSR. Audimas Auga, the teammate of the guy without the bonnet, in 11th. Fran Rodriguez actually fighting with. Is rival? Yes, it is. Dovidas Laurinavicius up the move and Fran Rodriguez down into 10th for the moment for Pure Energy Moronta Racing. And Dovidas Laurinavicius running very wide, nearly flipping over the curb again. But looks like he can stay in 9th for the moment after overtaking Rodriguez.
Yeah, it looks like that Rodriguez has a little bit trouble with his car at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, but perhaps a pit stop can solve that. And actually we were stuck in the replay without noticing it, but here we are with the live pictures. And yeah, Jesus Chiros in 8th, he started in 6th, so a little bit down the order, slightly disappointing for him. I guess he wanted to do good from what I've heard before from him for the race. Under the lighter, fighting with the car just in front, Alfie Bevan of FRA Sim Racing, who's also apparently slightly struggling, so perhaps there's a move coming up, so we will follow these two for a short moment of time. And
he's doing really, really good at the moment.
Yeah, it is. He is actually, yeah, still all over the place, and I think Leite will try to make a move at least down the straight, which is coming up right now. We will go on board with Leite to see what he will do with the Nissan car up the Mustang ahead. Of course, in real life supercar series, these cars couldn't match. But here we are, Leite gaining in the slipstream, Bevan going defensive into the full flat king right here, and Bevan also aggressive on the braking. But wow, that's some proper good touring car action we want to see. Very good defense from Bevan for the moment, and Leite is struggling to get past.
Just a little bump on the exit, just to make him sure he's there.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of a loft happen. Now trying to make the switchback work, but it doesn't. And absolutely fabulous touring car stuff we can see right here. Really good action from these two guys. And Leite now around.
It's necessary for Leite at the moment to get. No, he makes a mistake.
To not get into the gravel trap, indeed. Go ahead.
The problem is if you get stuck behind another driver who's like going all over the place, you're getting a little bit of nervous and doing mistakes on your own. So you have to get past him as fast as possible. But yeah, maybe a little bit too late before the mistake.
And now our light is also all over the place, it looks like. Bevan, however, very good defensive driving from him. He remains in 6th at the moment. And we now just look into the top 5. A teammate of Bevan just ahead up the road in 5th, Karl Magnus Borre, the young Swede. Following Daniel Nieto of MPG competition. Apparently Borre is not too far away. Muno still in 3rd, as said before. He started there, he remained there. He remains there, sorry, for the moment. And these guys, 2 guys, are still fighting for the lead. That's perhaps the most exciting battle to watch or to wish for at the moment. 2 guys super quick fighting for the lead for 6 of 6 races so far during the race.
Yeah, those 2 are definitely racing in another league. I guess Mono is still able to catch up if someone makes a mistake here in the front, but at the moment it doesn't look like it.
Wow, these guys are really getting close together in the brackets, and I'm quite sure Carrillo doesn't want to see that happening once again. But as you said, Muno is still very close to these two. He actually gained a little bit just from the visuals of it, and yeah, he will definitely be there if these 2 have run into any issues. Of course, there are still plenty of laps to go. If my math don't do me wrong, it's 25 laps to go, and yeah,
I guess you're correct with that.
yay, at least.
Van der Wege, yeah, a little bit of. I guess he's fast at the moment. He's pushing Carrillo to his limits and maybe around the outside.
It's a brave move to do.
Pretty hard move.
But it looks like it can work out for the moment. And yeah, absolutely great stuff out of the slipstream.
Brilliant move. Giving the room to each other.
Oh! Thanks a lot for Van der Wege. Yeah, exactly. And here we are, Carrillo in the wall, however. And looks like for the moment Van der Wege is, as you said before, the faster guy, and Carrillo has to give this position for the moment. But he will try to bounce back and get into the slipstream of the car in front and do the switcheroo all over again. And it looks like he's absolutely able to do that, because Van der Wege was really going wide into that corner. Yeah, still these 2 guys keep fighting as hard as possible, and
this is absolutely what we all came to see.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely fabulous stuff. And as we now sorry, give me a second. Mark, can you take over for a second, please? Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely no problem. We see Murno closing up a little bit. Down to 2 seconds at the moment from Van der Wege. And those 2 are still battling for the lead. Carrillo in the slipstream at the moment without any chance to attack Van der Wege in the front. Maybe now on the exit of the second last corner. We've seen a little mistake by Murno in the back. Now they're overlapping the first cars.
Yeah, which also is a quite crucial point to do, of course, and it's Hugo Levitius right behind them, and still it looks like it actually it's quite surprising to me that Carrillo is able to stick with Van der Wege. Of course, the slipstream does help him, but then again, it's quite impressive to see that these guys are pretty much even for this stage of the race, and yeah, absolutely fabulous to see these guys battling here at the Mount Panorama circuit in Bathurst in Australia. And Muno also made the way past Hugo Levitius right in the background.
Yeah, but he seems to lost a little bit of time there, fighting his way through Hugo Levitius.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't through Hugo Levitius, but rather around him. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Muno in third with a really impressive run so far, I gotta say. I didn't expect him to be there. Unfortunately, we cannot have Matthew Ellington for an interview. It looks like he has already left. I was trying to get him onto the live stream for a brief moment, but he's running into some difficulties. And we can see now Karl Magnus Borre fighting with Daniel Nieto for over 4th place. Wasn't Nieto in 4th just a while ago?
I'm not really sure about that, but I just believe in you. So
I'm not too sure, to be fair, and because Nieto was down into the 8th after the start, because he started in 4th, of course, and these guys compared to the start now switched places, but Nieto, big slide from Borre, absolutely crazy to save that, and Borre now in the slipstream for the main straight. But yeah, as I just was about to say, Nieto wanted to restore that order, and he did for the moment. But Borre is not too far away, and it will be very interesting to see what will happen over the course of the next few corners between these two. If Nieto is able to break the toe and get away, or if Borre is able to pounce back with the Mustang against the Nissan. It's like all over, once again, Mustang versus Nissan all over again, and absolutely fabulous to see these cars, these very impressive cars racing around here. I really gotta say I love this competition, and it's always looking so good to see these cars going around. Interesting, as we can see now, Daniel Nieto was just 3 seconds slower than his fastest lap in the last lap, so it will be interesting to see what he's able to achieve once he gets into fresh air where he is right now, and if he's able to close up to the front or not.
Yeah, it looks like he's able to put a pretty big gap between him and Borre at the moment. Borre doesn't seem to be able to follow Nieto for the moment, but everything can change so fast in these really, really big cars, extremely powerful engines. Slipping around the track happens pretty often, and after making mistakes, it's pretty much possible to lose 1 or 2 positions at once.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Especially with the field so tightly packed together. As you can see right here, Jesus Chino is driving in 6th. Has a quite a big gap to the guys in front, but
I guess in the back there's a battle going on.
Yeah, exactly.
7 and 8.
But that's Lopez, who should be a lap down over over Bevan, or down Bevan to be exactly. But still, Jesus Chinos is not too. Oh, Bevan once again with a big slide, and he's going into the spin, but the wall saved him actually there. Oh man, that was really unfortunate from Bevan. And actually, I'm just mixing him up with Borre, who was sliding in exactly that corner just a few laps ago, and Nieto was able to capitalize from it. But Bevan also with a big tank slap. It looks like the FRA guys are struggling slightly, but nevertheless they show some good running at the moment. Bevan up 7 positions, and also Christianos just stayed where he is. So that shows exactly how good the race of the FRA Sim Racing team guys is going at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I guess there's something going on with Christian Alvarez at the moment. Losing pretty big time.
Oh yeah, he's making a pit stop. Yeah. Interesting choice to make a pit stop right now, because usually you wait until the very second half of the race to do your pit stop. But perhaps he had some damage. Let's check if you're able to see that. Actually remembers me quite a lot of Ellington at this stage.
Yeah, that I mean, he's hitting the wall so often at the moment. Right there, I'm pretty sure he'll have a puncture or something.
Yes, exactly. As we are stuck in the replay, and he's now leaving the pits, so he's back on the way and trying to regain any momentum. The next car up the road is, of course, the one who's trying to overlap him. That must be Auremas Auga, the Lithuanian, in the number 4 car. And the next car up the road actually is Raima Sumde in P16, while the next car down the road is Karl Strauer, the last one running for the moment in P18. He lost 10 positions, and looking pretty horrible. And he got quite a long way to go. But you can see there was a fight going on in the last corner. Yeah, it was. Saulius Laureavicius against Laszlo Teglas. These guys know each other quite well from our regular competitions. And these are they are now fighting against each other in the Bathurst 200 as well. So we just go into the replay and see the move of Darius Laudia Vitius once again against Laszlo Teglas, the Hungarian, just going around the inside at the corner. Very safe move from both of them. Played it safe and played it for the long distance. For the long distances during the race. And some MPG cars slipping through there as well. And that's not going to change anything for both of them, because that was just Carlos for unlapping himself. That being said, the nephew of Saulius, Dovidas, is now running in 11th, so he just gained some positions back as well, because he was very much down the order. Andrei Leite now in 10th. Wasn't he further up the road, like a little bit closer to the lead, just a few laps ago?
In 7th actually, or in 8th,
Yeah.
in 8th I guess, and Bevan was in 7th, and he also lost a little bit of time and is in 9th now. Maybe something happened there, but yeah, I guess that's a little bit too far back, so we shouldn't be able to see that in the replay, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but stuff can happen, of course, and stuff can happen off camera as well. And Juan Rodriguez into the pits.
Now in the pits. And I guess that's...
Yeah, I know the reason why. Because the fuel... his car is looking very sideways, isn't it? Is it just me? Or was he going very sideways when he was trying to go straight?
It also looked like he was going really, really slow down the pits. Maybe there was a little bit of damage done before, but he definitely didn't repair it, so...
Yeah, exactly. The reason
fine now.
Absolutely. The reason why these guys pit so early during the race is because the fuel, the amount of fuel, of course, is fixed for this event, and that's not by the IVRC settings, but the racer settings.
And Carrillo in the pits, I guess.
Yes, yeah, I think so too, and we will switch them very quickly. Yeah, exactly, to see what was going on or what is going on between them, but. Van der Wege already back on the way, and Carrillo will hope to drop down any second now, because otherwise we'll lose plenty amount of time. But that's Van der Wege extending his lead even further.
Pretty much time, I guess. Maybe he repaired something.
Yeah, perhaps he had to repair something, and Carrillo now out of the pits as well. But now 3 seconds behind Van der Wege in front. I just want to have a very quick look into how close they were together when they were entering the pits. Yeah, that's clearly not 3 seconds, and Carrillo looks like losing a little bit of time in the pit stop, but we've seen him taking the lead before, and he will try to make an impression on Van der Wege and regain the virtual lead. Of course, neither Nieto nor Murno up front have pitted yet, and they should enter the pits at the end of this lap, so the order will be restored.
The fuel in the beginning was fixed. Everyone has to start with the same amount of fuel, so there shouldn't be too big differences between the first and the last pit stop we see in the beginning here in the first stint. But now the big question will be how fast can Van der Wege be, and how fast can he get away from Carrillo. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted by the back marker flowing around the track.
Yeah, we just watched the replay of Nieto coming up to some of the SL racing cars, and yeah, there was just a little bit of confusion going on. Also, Nieto carrying a little bit too much speed into that corner before going, and he will be kicking himself for that mistake, as we are stuck in replay. But here we are with the live pictures once again. Actually, the Nissan looks pretty much damaged as well right now. Of course, yeah, he had to. And Mono, of course, also in the pits as well. Yep, and so is Teglas in the background. He is already a lot down.
It will definitely be interesting where Muno gets out of the pits now, as Carrillo lost lots of time. Also, Muno is pitting 1 lap later, so he was driving on low fuel 1 more lap.
That's absolutely correct, but it looks like Carrillo just exited in the last corner, and Muno just exited in pits right now. So the gap actually has increased a little bit as well, So yeah, compared to the scenes we've seen before, it's
Just
not
about 2.5 seconds at the moment.
exactly 2.5 seconds, pretty much. And then again, Muno will not say nah thanks to the fresher tires, because having one, he's now having an advantage in this stint, as these guys are apparently all two-stopping through the race distance. Nieto exited the pits in 4th as expected, and Bora as well in 5th. The gap between these two has increased significantly. Remember, Nieto was just overtaking Bora a few laps ago, like 3 or 4 laps ago, and now it's up to 10 seconds. That's quite some distance.
But it just shows how fast Nieto really is at the moment, if he doesn't do any mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be maybe he's able to catch up to Murno in 3rd and show us a battle for the podium.
Yeah, of course, and he will definitely look forward to do so. Gap between these two guys at the moment, pretty much a little bit less than 20 seconds.
Really close fight going on between Alfie Bevan and Jesus Chirinos. Battle for 6th.
Yeah, that's a battle for 6th indeed. Jesus Chirinos in 7th, he wants to get back into P6. Bevan must have overtaken Chirinos during the pit stops, because Chirinos was quite a bit ahead of Bevan, wasn't he? When he was entering the pits.
Looks like it.
Yeah, very interesting to see that this has happened. I wanna see in the replay if you can catch exactly that. Now we can't. Not worth going so far back. And now Jesus Chirinos down into 7th. He was driving on the position where he started for pretty much the whole race except for lap 1. But he's now down into 7th and was just overtaken by the young Brits, by the young British guy, Alfie Bevan. And will be very interesting to see how the gap between these two will develop over the next few laps. So, further down the order, Ariel Sauga has...
big drift in the back!
From right there? I just missed it.
Yeah,
Lighter, yeah, it was indeed.
It was unrelated, I guess. I nearly thought he lost the car there.
Oh wow, that's a massive drift. I mean,
massive save there. Could have lost everything.
Yeah, exactly. Very good save from him, and you can see Fran Rodriguez also very close to. There's a big group going on right now between all of these guys. Fran Rodriguez in 10th, Andrade in 9th, and Arimas Auga in 8th, now slightly up the road, but big gaggle of cars right there, and of course will be interesting to see as well what these guys can do. As in the background there's Carlos Frost still trying to overlap.
Oh, next big mistake by Leite.
Oh, and he's jumping across the circuit, nearly drifts off.
With the mistake himself.
And these guys are
really close. Light as Frau was unlapping himself.
Yeah, Leite just calling it for the moment. He's going for the pits. Looks like he has some damage to his car as well.
Yeah.
I guess it's a puncture as well, and very unfortunate that he has to go to the pits right now, as we see the cars now have passed the 30 minutes mark.
But was he in the pits already before? I'm not really sure.
Good question indeed. I'm not so sure as well. I will look that up, and yeah, you can if you just take over for a short moment.
Yeah, no problem. Leite seems to stay in his 11th position now. Jürgen Levitius is back about just 30 to 35 seconds at the moment, and a little bit of fighting seems to be going on between him and Laszlo Teglas, the young Hungarian right behind him. Maybe he's able to get the position back and switch into 12th.
So I was just looking it up, and unfortunately, my resource doesn't tell me anything about pit stops were made or anything else like that. So we don't know yet, but we will surely find out after the race. And as you said before, Teglas very very close to Jürgen Levitius in front, but I think Jürgen Levitius was overtaking Teglas. I'm not very wrong on that. because Jurgen was one of the last running cars on track just a few laps ago, which sounds like it was just 2 laps ago. No, it must have been like 7 laps ago or so. Jurgen was running without the bonnet.
Yeah, I just rewatched my source, and it was indeed Lighty's second pit stop. He already pitted in lap 6. Very early, lap 6. Yeah, unfortunately I had to do his second stop also in lap 13, so a little bit of bad luck there for him, I guess.
But what are your resources that they tell you, but not me? Anyways, yeah, we can see a battle for 9th at the moment as Laudinavicius was able to catch up to Rodriguez in front.
I guess.
Bora in the pits, that's very interesting. Where is he? Oh yeah, there he is, indeed. But that's a very, very odd time to make a pit stop. Was he just going for another stop? Oh, he lost his rear wing. Yeah, that explains a lot. But he's now back on track. Oh man, that's a big shame because he was running in 4th for a brief amount of time, and now way down the order. And also, Fernando Rodriguez was just overtaken by Saulius Laudinavicius for 8th, and these guys.
Also, Bevan lost really, really big time on Chirinos. So Chirinos is actually gained 2 positions and is now in 5th.
Yeah, indeed. We were. Yeah, one of them was of course against Bora, and one of them was against Bevan, I guess. That we can see some billboards lying on the track right there. So I guess Bevan had his off right there. I can only assume, because usually you don't catch these pit boards unless you have some major issues. That being said, let's just have a quick look onto the gap. Nieto actually losing time to Murano up front. So
yeah, all the gaps between the first 5 positions are increasing at the moment. Van der Wege gaining lots of time between him and Carrillo in second, already about 5 seconds now. The gap between Carrillo and Mono up to 6 seconds. I guess that wasn't it only 2.5 after the pit stop, or 2.5?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Mono is, as you said, faster than Nieto in 4th. Over 20 seconds the gap, and Nieto already 40 seconds in front of Chirinos. So
we just saw a pretty big drift from Nieto as we were watching it. But yeah, as you said, gaps increasing indeed for the moment, which doesn't really tell the story, I guess, of the race so far, because we've seen some very good action up front, but for the moment it looks like every driver has settled for a little bit of rhythm and said, hey man, I'm here and there, let's just finish here and there and take it a little bit safer than they did at the start. But that's quite usual at the middle part of the race, as we are exactly at the halfway point, a little bit over the halfway point of the race, of course. Lap 16 out of 32. And we were just introduced to the top 5 by you, Mark, just a few moments time, and let's continue it. Alfie Bevan now in 6th once again, was overtaken by Chirinos not too long ago. Audimas Auger back up into 7th. He was way down the order before, and he is being chased by Saulius Laudinavicius, who's just 4.7 seconds behind, and I think a little bit fast at the moment. We'll keep an eye on this. Oh wow, massive slide for Laudinavicius on that corner, but it looks like it's been very prone for some good drifting action. As I said, we will keep an eye on this upcoming battle. Fran Rodriguez now in 9th, he's still there, so we lost another car in between them. Bora in 10th. No, actually not, sorry, I mixed that up. But still, Bora, after his pit stop for a new rear wing, is now down into 10th, very unfortunate for him. Andre Leite right behind him in 11th. Also had to do his second pit stop already, and Bora is struggling.
Big mistakes at the moment. Leite
exactly.
Really closing up.
Exactly. We will watch this fight. For a quick moment, and yeah, then continue our way through the order. just as I give you the names, Pablo Lopez in 12th, Laszlo Tegas in 13th, Tobias Leuderavicius in 14th, Martinas Jurgelevicius in 15th, Carlos Frau, now not the last car on track anymore, in 16th, and
he's trying it. On
yes.
the grass, nearly crashed into the back of him.
Oh, super lucky that for both of them that they didn't crash into each other. That would have been a massive impact for both cars. And good thing that they could have avoided each other. Could have ended way in tears for both of them right there. But I did once again with a mistake right behind another car. So it looks like he's struggling to overtake his opponents for the moment. But I'm sure he will work on that during or over the course of the race. And the last running car is Christian Alvarez at the moment in P17. So let's just quickly switch to the front once again, and it looks like the gap has indeed come down a little bit. Wasn't it about 6 seconds, or was it from Carrillo to Murno behind him?
I guess both gaps were a little bit bigger before, so they're closing up at the moment, and that could be a really good finish to the race.
Yeah, of course, these guys just have to do another pit stop, and so everything is still widely open. I think from what we saw before, Carrillo and Van der Wege will try to pit in lap 22, while Murno has all cards on his hands and try to stay out a little bit longer. Of course, that will hurt him on the fuel side, but then again, he will have 2 laps fresher tires over the guys in front. But still, it's very interesting to see, or it will be very interesting to see how the gaps or the fights will develop over the remaining. Wait, give me a second. It's not 20 laps, isn't it? 14 laps. It is. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Did I ever tell you that I actually need to do some head maths in my job?
Yellow flag.
Oh, yellow flag, exactly.
But it's not Korea, it's one of the back markers, so nothing changes in the lead at the moment.
Who could that have been? Was that... I was in the pits.
Maybe
interesting throw.
Alvarez?
No, Alvarez is just approaching the last corner. It could have been Carlos Frau on his pit entry, but yeah, actually not. Let's not check that in the replay. Anyways, there's Leite now back up with Borre once again, and I wonder how the duel will go on this time. Leite was just screwing it up a few laps ago, 2 laps ago.
Yeah, Leite seems to be really fast at the moment, but his big problem for this race are his already 2 pit stops.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine what could have happened without his additional pit stop. Same goes for Borre though. Losing your rear wing and changing it, it does take some time, unfortunately. As we can see not that much at the moment, sorry. Now we are back and trying to chase Borre up front, and he's kicking up some dust, so Leite will really like to see that and say, hey man, I'm here. I just made a mistake 2 laps ago. I won't do that again. There's also Fran Rodriguez just up the road, so this fight will be a 3-way fight now, not for P10 but for P9 instead. And Rodriguez wasn't hard to overtake in a few moments before, but he's still done a very solid job, stayed out of all troubles so far, and that basically gave him P9. And now, of course, with the overspeed, Borre is now into 9th for the moment, and still Rodriguez all over the place. And Leite has to do the hardest job. He's trying it at the chicane once again on the brakes.
A little bit late.
Yeah,
too late.
Too late indeed. He's got to go into the grass, taking some avoiding action, and he's trying to rejoin ahead of Lopez, but he's not able to. Thank God Lopez was able to make that work, otherwise that would have clearly been a penalty for later.
Yeah, Light is just taking too many risks at the moment. He's really quick, and I guess he won't even have to take those risks. Like this move into the first corner, I mean, it worked out, but yeah, also lost him a bit of time again onto Borre.
Yeah, indeed. Bora now 4 seconds up the road. 2 seconds up the road, sorry. That's quite a lot, and would have been avoided by Light if he would have just calmed down a little bit. Brake a little bit earlier in the chicane, and nothing of that would have happened. Anyways, Jurgen apparently was in the pits, as we just saw him exiting the pit lane in the background. But yeah, Leite already gaining onto the car in front. Is that a fight going on for position? No, it's not. It's just overlapping, or unlapping himself. Of course, Jurgen is trying to unlap himself from Fernando Rodriguez up front. And
I guess Teglas and Dovidas, Laura and Vitius, are getting really close at the moment.
Yeah, they do. Good spot. Thank you very much. Dovidas, of course, in the very chrome-esque Holden right here in P14, trying to overtake another Holden in P13.
Dovidas must have been in the pits again, I guess, because he dropped back to 14th. Wasn't he up to 10th or 11th a few laps ago? Not really sure.
To be honest, I cannot remember. Nothing can be said about that, unfortunately, from my point at least. But yeah, very interesting to see the glancing Holden in the virtual Australian sun right here, and we can even see the gap decreasing further and further. And yeah, Dovidas Lodevicius will really like that, and he will try to overtake, I guess, either on the run down to the main straight, to the last straight, but down the hill, or on exactly this straight, unless he doesn't do any mistakes. We will jump on the onboard with him to enjoy racing Teglas from his point of view, and of course racing around the Mount Panorama circuit. Absolutely crazy circuit to do racing on in all sorts of classes, and I can see
from mistake by Teglas, maybe the chance for Laura Vitius.
Yeah, and it looks like Teglas just let him pass. Yeah, good decision from Teglas to do so. Also thinking in the long game. And we can see now Light and Borre added once again. These guys are fighting for the last 5 or 6 laps or so. It's still a fight for P9. Let's see what Light is able to do right here. And
I mean, his last lap was about 2 seconds faster than Boris, so he should definitely be able to overtake him by speed. But yeah, the thing we'll need to watch, and he also needs to watch, is how many risks does he want to take again.
Exactly, and also there's another car up the road, but I think...
Oh, that was a little bit too many risks.
That was indeed too many risks, and he simply blatantly spins Borre around. Oh man,
that's a crucial place to stay on the track and spinning around, because it's really tight there at this corner.
Indeed, it's very tight indeed, and very hard or very easy to mess it up if you want to rejoin the traffic right there. Oh, Borre just up into the wall once again.
I guess his car should be done now after the sit. Maybe,
yeah, I think so too.
still seems to be fine. I thought he could have a puncture there, but it looks okay.
Yeah, you know, the spirit is to never give up, and he's doing that very bravely. He just lost his rear wing, went for the pits, just didn't give up, was spun around by a competitor, and he's still trying to race around, and that's very good thing, and was even aware of the faster car behind him.
I guess the guy living up to the spirit at the moment the most should be Christian Alvarez.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
gotta say that. Yeah, true.
He said in front of the race, that he doesn't really feel the car. Yeah, he wasn't able to to attack some other drivers or be on pace, but he's still in the race in 17th, and yeah, the goal is to finish the race, and it looks pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, indeed, and he's also overtaking or unlapping himself from his teammate Laszlo Teglas, who's running in 13th, Alvarez in 17th, and these guys, yeah, giving each other the light signals, flashing the lights right there, and of course, yeah, thanking each other. As you can see, the gap between Van der Wege and Carrillo in second has increased quite a lot. I wonder what even right now looks like. Oh, sorry. If Carrillo is struggling with anything in his car for the moment, of course.
I'm not too sure about that, because Murno and Carrillo are still 5 seconds away from each other. So I guess Van der Wege is just pushing really hard at the moment to secure the victory.
Yeah, I mean that's also a good point as well. And Carrillo and as well Van der Wege should be coming into the pits at any moment's time, at least this or the next lap, if they follow their usual pit scheme. Of course, Carrillo into the grass, that won't help him on this fight for P1. Of course, Van der Wege doesn't know, but he will be happy to see the gap even increasing. And Murno gaining a lot of time just in two corners right there. Oh, that's crazy. He made up 1 second over Carrillo up in second. And yeah, I mean, you are the expert for the mental games. What do you think? What's going through your head if you can see your opponent up front? You've been chasing him for all race for 23 laps now, for 48 minutes. And you see he's nervous. He's doing mistakes. What's going on through your head if you're Lucas Murno right now?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question, I guess. Yeah, you're definitely noticing that you're closing up, but yeah, you just have to do your race, not over push. If you push your car over the limit, you can lose everything. You should have that in mind all the time. And I guess Murno is doing pretty well at the moment. He's looking pretty good. Yeah, from Carrillo's side, I guess he's just done with his tires. It looks like it.
Yeah.
As he loses really much time now to Carrillo and Murno, to Van der Wege and Murno. Sorry for that. And yeah, I guess his thoughts are pretty more important at the moment. Because if you can see that you're losing time and you just can't get faster because yeah, maybe your car doesn't let you get faster at the moment, you're pretty close to what I've said earlier, to push it over the limit, and then you're making more mistakes and more mistakes and more mistakes and losing even more time. So
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess the hardest part of the first three is definitely on Juan Carrillo at the moment.
All right, interesting. Interesting point that you're talking about, of course. Nevertheless, it looks like Carrillo had a stable lap for now, and he's stabilizing the gap between himself and Murno. Of course, it's always going back and forth slightly, but you know that's just due to the nature of the course. But what's really interesting to me though is that all of the three guys up front were continuing around. Also, is Nieto. When they will do their second pit stop, if they do their second pit stop, I don't know what the fuel limit is in these cars. And as you can see, Tango and Van der Wege overlapping Laszlo Teglas in P13 it is, and yeah, putting the Hungarian down another position, another lap. Sorry, in the Holden, these guys are both racing in. Being chased by a Ford Mustang GT and for the IVRC Sim Racing team, another Ford in third, and then finally the first Nissan in fourth. But yeah, very interesting race so far. Also tactical wise, because these guys haven't done their pit stop. They have done their pit stops, the first set of pit stops. Yeah.
Something must have been going on in the back. If I'm correct, cause Bora is now up to 8th again, in front of Auga and in front of Fran Rodriguez. But I guess Rodriguez must have been in the pits. He's back at 11th. Don't really know though what happened with Aramis Auga.
Indeed, no, it wasn't Auga, but it was Rodriguez who lost the amount of position. It's looking very slow at the moment, to be fair. I wonder if he got any major issues. Yeah, this car is definitely a lot slower than the others around.
Time's looking pretty normal at the moment, so.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I guess Rodriguez was just in the pits. It looks like that he lost the amount of time there. It's about 30 seconds to Bora now. Could be possible, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds realistic. So Rodriguez most likely being in the pits, he was overtaken in the pits by Laura Vicius, Auga, and Bora, who all just moved up one position.
A little bit more in the back, we can see Carlos Frau closing up to Pablo Lopez.
Yeah, that will be a fight for P14. Very disappointing for Carlos Frau, but he was standing at the exit of turn 1 for a whole lap. He was, prior to the race, he was a third last year and he wanted to impress once again this year. But if you just stay off your wheel for a whole lap, I think that's really putting a task on your impression to do. And he's racing in 15th right now. And wait, give me a second, please. Very interesting. He's missing his sponsor on the hood of the car. Okay, all right. Guess that's stuff like that can happen. Apparently, MPG competition forgot to put another logo on their bonnet. Anyways, have these guys been yet into the pits? Oh! Lighter into the wall once again. Oh no, and he's sideways.
Oh my goodness.
Massively sideways for the moment. Oh, that certainly won't help his chances of finishing the race. Still, it doesn't look like any of the front. Oh,
Van der Wegen in the pits now.
Yes, exactly. I knew it.
Here we go, just as you like to mention it.
Yeah, because they had to come in any moment's time. And
there are the back markers into the pits now.
Well, that's
hopefully not blocking him.
Yeah, these guys
okay.
these guys will block in each other though, as they are teammates and most likely share the same pit spot.
I'm not completely sure, but the pit stop of Van der Wegen looked pretty long for my opinion.
Yeah, same for me. So yeah, we both have that feeling. Nice to agree with you, at least for sometimes. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, a long pit stop apparently from Van der Wegen. It will be very interesting to see how or where he will come out on track once he's done his pit stops. And Bruno really close to the car in front now. Carillo, of course, made up another 2 seconds. Yeah, not 2 seconds, but 1.5 seconds over the course of the last 2 laps. And I wonder how badly is Carillo struggling with his tires. Of course, Van der Wegen was able to watch that gap as well, and he will be certainly very happy about it. Oh my god! Tell you what, if you show that stuff to Ken Block, he will invite him.
And you know what? you know what's the best part of it? You also gain time by this.
True, yeah, I did. I mean, if you able to pull that off, and he stayed with two tires on the road on the racing line, hats off. That's one way to get fast, right there, people, everyone.
Absolutely.
Just watch that. Yeah, I should explain why Ken Block was so fast in the WRC, right? Anyways, let's check on Carillo if he's going to the pits right now, because it looks like his tires are absolutely done at this point, and he has to get off these tires as soon as possible. But no, he continues around for another lap.
both of them are slower than Van der Wege because they are saving fuel or tires, or maybe trying to get through without a second pit stop.
That's the case. It's a genius move because they just have to do another 5 laps. And in these 5 laps to catch up for Van der Wege, who's now 17 seconds down the road of Murno, to catch up these 17 seconds or even 19 to Carrillo in the now first place, is absolutely a task to do. Even if he's on fresher tires and can attack a lot more, 17 seconds is something you have to make up. You have to be able to make up, of course. And,
also, maybe Van der Wege made a little mistake by calculating fuel for his first pit stop or something. Would also explain why he was pretty much faster in his first pit stop than Carrillo and Murno.
Remember though that the amount of fuel is fixed, so you cannot change that even in the car. It's always a fixed amount of fuel that's going into the car. So that's what really setting me off about Carrillo, because he just pitted in the same lap as Van der Wege and is still going around the circuit. So perhaps slightly different way of calculating the fuel consumption, but here we are.
Van der Wege now flying around the circuit.
Absolutely flying. He just made up 2 seconds, and yeah.
Yeah, since the pit stop, it's 4 seconds now he gained on Carrillo. He's flying, but if they won't stop in the front, I guess he will not be able to catch them.
Yeah, it will be very close indeed at the end, but not enough, I think, for Van der Wege, as we just watched Carrillo going into the final chicane right there.
Now in 1 second.
Yeah, very close together. Carrillo really going slow. I think he is saving fuel and tires to go around without any pit stop.
Definitely trying to go till the end.
Yep, definitely. And Murno now with a big chance. Ford duel, but not teammates. Mark duel, basically, or manufacturer duel. Riding on board with Murno, as you can see. Yeah, clearly Carrillo was braking very early, and he was trying to save some fuel by going off the throttle right there. At least from my point of view.
Now he's going for it.
He's definitely going for it in the slipstream, going for the outside, up this crest. Slight drop afterwards, but Carrillo is defending slightly. Murno going around the outside, going into the wall even.
The inside on the next corner.
Yes, indeed. That should give the lead to Lucas Murno, but these two. Oh, that's so close.
That's really close. That's a brilliant move if it works.
Oh, around the outside of that super fast team.
Murno in the best position at the moment, but we don't know if Carrillo maybe gets through with his fuel and Murno doesn't because of that move, maybe.
Yeah, I'm really wondering about Murno's tactics right now, because he's so much faster than Carrillo. It doesn't look like he has to save fuel at all. He's just going a little bit slower than usual, but not that much, and that's what's really setting me off about these two guys, both of their tactics.
But
really strange.
Pulled off that move in the last WRC race also. He was able to pit only 1 time and take the win. Maybe he does it again.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, in the penultimate WEC race, he was running out of fuel at the very last corner. So
that's correct.
Where you were the lucky winner after all. Anyways, yeah, Murno, we know that this guy is able to do some crazy tricks on fuel, and perhaps he's doing it once again. And so does Carrillo, for, of course, a completely different team, and perhaps these guys have never spoken to each other. But anyways, what I wanted to say, when they were fighting against each other...
This will be absolutely crazy if it goes down the last 4 laps like it did till now, because Van der Wege is now 12 seconds behind the lead, and he gains 3 seconds a lap, so he would be on par with Murno on the finish line. This will be absolutely amazing, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too, and we just saw another car exiting pits right there, but Van der Wege is pushing really hard, and just saw him locking up in the last corner, going slightly wide on the exit of the first corner. That doesn't hurt him too much. The lockup was a little bit worse, but then again, he has to push like crazy to get up there. He just did another pit stop, and if he's able to pull that off, that's absolutely crazy as well, because he made an additional pit stop and will still be able to win the race. That's absolutely fantastic stuff from these guys that are fighting against each other right now. In general, we've seen so many crazy stuff going on, and we also can see that Murno is able to pull away from Caillou, and it's an absolute blast up to this point. And we are now just into the final 3 laps, around 2.5 laps around the Mount Panorama circuit in Bathurst. I do have a major lag. Interesting. Nieto was Nieto was being in the pits. Nieto was just exiting the pits. Yeah, as I said before, was just exiting the pits. Sorry, just us interrupting each other. Giro's perhaps trying to do the same as his teammate. That would also explain why he lost so much time in the second stint to Nieto.
Also, we have to unfortunately tell our viewers that Andrew Leite has now retired from the race.
But also did Martinas Jogelevicius and Ryan Matsuda. We missed all of these. I don't know how long ago Matsuda has retired.
Matsuda is out for about 20 laps, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. But Jogelevicius was still going a few laps ago. And very bad news for... Oh, Van der Wege in the grass! Oh, that will hurt him very much, and he will not like that to happen once again. Gap is now up to a little bit more than 9 seconds.
Yeah.
But
that's a big mistake, and that could cost him the win in the worst case.
Absolutely true. Gap to Murno back up to 10.5 seconds.
Yeah, that should be a little bit too much, I guess.
To catch up in 2 laps time? No, I think so. In 2 laps time, catch up 10 seconds. He has to pass Carrillo first as well.
It's 3 laps.
Oh yeah, you're right. We just done 29 laps. Yeah, of course, I was confused by the display. Sorry. Still a little bit less than 3 laps. It's absolutely... I don't think he's even able to catch up to Carrillo at this point.
I guess maybe he could catch up. I guess he will... Yeah, I just bet he'll get Carrillo, but he won't get Bruno.
Yeah, odd thing for Carrillo is though, he was second before the pit stop of Van der Wege and is still back in second after the pit stop, despite having Van der Wege behind him.
Yeah, but I think that was not how it was planned by him.
No, definitely not. It was how Murno has planned it though, and yeah, absolutely. As I said, absolutely fabulous race we've seen so far, and it couldn't get any more exciting at this very point. Absolutely great to see these guys going around and to crown a new Bathurst 200 winner after or at the end of this race.
Van der Wege now completely flying, almost 6.5 seconds behind Carrillo at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, to make up 2 seconds in the mountain section alone does require some balls, but also some very good driving, and he shows very much both of it at this point of the race, and that's exactly what he needs to do as well. Van der Wege, I just want to see his lap time, please, at the end of the lap. So if you can stay with him until the very end of the lap, because that must have been an absolute flyer.
Yeah, could be the fastest lap, I guess.
If he's able to pull that off, a little bit wide on the exit of the last corner. But here it is, lap time is...
not really, but 2:7.1.
2:7.1, well his fastest lap is a 2:6.8. Just 0.3 off the fastest lap of his personal fastest lap. It's absolutely crazy. But remember, his tires are already 3 laps old. So it's not like he's having the freshest tires as well.
Yeah, but he's still gaining about 3 seconds a lap on both of the front runners, but... I guess it will be his mistake in the penultimate corner 2 laps ago, which could cost him here the Bathurst 200 win.
You know what, it's still not the end of the race. We still have a little bit more than 2 laps to go, 2.5 laps to go for the leaders, and these guys will definitely have the biggest amount of sweat around them ever. because they know Van der Wege can drive fast and he's absolutely flying towards them. And, man, we were speaking about
those balls. My goodness, he gained 1 second only in that corner.
Absolutely crazy. This guy is absolutely showing us how to drive around Bathurst in these cars. Massively fast guy and a little bit twitchy on the exit right there, but that shouldn't hurt him too much. And oh, there was a spin up ahead, but none of the front running guys, thank God. And as I said before, Carillo and Murno know that Van der Wege is coming, and they have to be on point at every single corner they do right now, as well as Van der Wege. It's absolute madness show right now. Just watching Lucas Murno go into the final chicane, which is of course not the final corner.
Mistake
Oh, yellow flags ahead of Murno. Someone in... Was it? Oh, that's Chirinos.
Murno is still in front.
Still Chirinos, who was going for fourth. He doesn't want to do that.
We have in fourth, I guess. He was about 40 seconds in front of Nieto, so that should be the big problem.
Exactly.
Van der Wege fastest lap 2.6.423.
2.6.4. Holy moly, that's absolutely crazy. And these guys are now in the final lap. Van der Wege has everything at his hands to win this race. He's so
but the thing
much
is,
faster.
if he really wants to win this race, he definitely needs to get past Carrillo in like a like
a blink of an eye, indeed.
Second or something.
Indeed. First attempt, otherwise it's gone. First attempt for him, otherwise it's completely gone.
Yeah, he's getting him in a really, really bad position here. Really bad turn.
Oh, that's gonna be tough for Van der Wege.
Can't play out his pure speed at the moment.
He can't play out his traction right out of that corner though. Absolutely flying around the around the outside of Carillo, who's down into third. Didn't want to do that, but then again,
should be it.
Yeah, I think so too. Lucas Murno is up 3.8 seconds up the road, and Murno in first. He will absolutely love to see that Van der Wege lost quite a lot of time. But we said that both. He has to get past as soon as possible, and apparently it wasn't soon enough. Still, plenty of time to go.
And it would have worked out, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's absolutely crazy. Brilliant finish to this race.
It's not finished yet. We still have three corners to go. 3 corners where everything can happen, but Murno will be absolutely delighted. 3.2 seconds now. As long as Murno doesn't mess it up, he will have it in the back, and he will be certainly happy to be right there where he is right now, and showing after an absolute crazy drive how to manage fuel, how to manage tires, and showing us how to win the Bathurst 200 at least until this point. But he's surely playing it safe right now. Yeah, he does. Braking early and easy, not taking any risk, and he will cross the finish line right now to win the Bathurst 200. Congratulations to him, to Lucas Murno and C-Force Racing after an absolute crazy drive. Tanguy Van der Wege finishing second ahead of Juan Aracario for FRA Sim Racing. Absolutely crazy drive from all 3 of them. I've never seen such a crazy show in sim racing in the last few years, really. Absolutely fantastic drive, and Nieto is now up into 4th. He was able to overtake Chinos in the end. Unfortunately, no podium for him. He really wanted to get that, but he will be the best finishing Nissan car, and he will be happy about that as well. Jesus Chinos, the teammate of the winner for C-Force Racing, finishing in 5th. Absolutely good result for him as well. Alfie Bevan in 6th for FRA Sim Racing as well. Super good result for him. We've seen so many good drives today. It's absolutely fantastic. Carl Magnus Borre, imagine where he would have ended up if he hadn't had to change the rear wing, which costed him so much time. He's in 7th, and it's just 15 seconds behind the car in front. He would have been up there as well with the top 5 for sure. Finishing in 7th right now, Carl Magnus Borre, as we are now waiting for Saulius Laudinavicius to cross the finish line. Also a very good, solid drive from him. We haven't seen anything bad from him. Just look at the condition of his car. It's looking absolutely fine. He hasn't been into the wall at all. And he's now spinning it out of the last corner. I nearly jinxed it, but he finishes in 8th for SL Racing. Also, Auremas Auga on his return to IVRC, finishing in 9th of the good drive, starting from P15, and Carlos Frau is now, he has already finished in P10, and I think we have seen everyone crossing the finish line. No, Davidas Solidavicius finished in 11th, indeed. Pablo Lopez for Pure Energy Mononta Racing in 12th, ahead of Fran Rodriguez, his teammate, in 13th, then followed by Laszlo Teglas, the best finishing Shadow Team driver, ahead of Christian Alvarez, who's just visiting the gravel trap for whatever reason, finishing in 15th. We unfortunately lost Andreas Leite, André Leite in 6th, Martinas Lürgervicius, Ryan Matsunda, previous winner Matthew Ellington, Ottavio De Palos, and Lorenzo, who had to retire very early on, but we just look at the winner, Lucas Murno. Absolutely crazy drive for him, and I'm absolutely delighted to see, to have witnessed this race as Murno has lost his rear wing. Mark, your thoughts?
Yeah, I guess it was an absolutely amazing race we've seen today. Murno just did a really great job. Put his tactics onto the track absolutely perfect, I guess. Just a really big victory today for him. A little bit unlucky in the end. Van der Wege lost the win to his strategy, as he was the only one to pit in the front three drivers. I'm pretty excited for the next year already.
Yeah, we all are, I guess, and it was absolutely crazy stuff to do. I just asked Lucas Murno if he wants to join us for a quick interview, but I cannot promise that, as we have to celebrate the winner right now. And it looks like he's ready for some interview action, as I'm putting him in the channel right now.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh, Lucas, congratulations! What a crazy, fantastic drive from you. How do you feel?
Man, I guess my tire gonna be gone in this lap, but well, that was a pretty exciting. Now, the first part of the race, was a pretty alright for me, pretty okay. And when I see I think the second place, I don't know the name because it was really big to talk, but when I see and I watch, they're gonna finish it yet on the. I'm gonna getting in the pace and my car in the front. I get it on. I think, wow, I can be gone. I can be win this, and I'm going in, saving tire and try to attack at the same time. It was pretty hard, but I will try to manage it yet, and we got it. We got it in after those mistakes on him, and my pace was pretty stronger on the last part, and got in. And now my preoccupation was to save the fuel and the tires and the end, knowing the car behind the third place, and now I finished it second. I guess was a damn faster because he made the 2.6 and his fastest lap, so gonna be hard to secure them. I think it was two laps ahead. I was got overtaken and I have to stop yet. But at the end we got it, and I'm happy with that. Thanks.
Yeah, that was a really brilliant race, I have to admit. Congratulations from me too. You've did a really good job out there. In the end, Van der Wege was a little bit faster, I guess, but he had to do his second pit stop a few laps from the end. So in the end, you've won by strategy. Was it planned from the beginning, or was it just a spontaneous move as you've realized you can go through with only one pit stop?
Yeah, I was playing it since the beginning, but the strategy in the beginning was going to hard tires when the first stop. But when we see about we're gonna be only soft tires, we're gonna be crazy. We're gonna be bush off. We have to save it, I guess, or make it two stops. And we are convicted to two stops, but the degradation was really low. And I tell him, yeah, I guess we can make it one stop. And Shirino's tell, no, 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 I guess not. I guess we're gonna not make it the two stops, but we're gonna try one stop yet. And well, the proof
Yeah.
was that
I mean, so,
was
so sorry. Just go ahead. Sorry.
no, I have to think about it. I have to think already. I have to talk, but if we were talk wanna talk something, talk yeah.
Yeah.
I guess with it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so it was definitely a team decision from you guys, and very interesting to see how Seaforth Racing was able to win that. Yeah, basically, it was your first time around the Bathurst 200. Do you want to return next year?
I guess yes, if I have time.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. Thank you very much also for your time for this interview. And once again, congratulations from me. And I think I can speak for Mark as well. Congratulations from him as well.
Absolutely.
Sure,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Yeah, absolutely crazy race. We had the best time ever commentating this race, and enjoy your victory, man. Celebrate the day, celebrate your victory, and I hope to see you around very soon for the next few races.
User was moved out of your channel.
So that was it basically. Did we forget to mention anything?
I guess not at the moment.
All right, that was it. Our broadcast from the 2019 IVRC Bathurst 200. It was an absolute pleasure to be at the side of Mark Zwerger commentating this race. And once again, from my side, congratulations to the podium and basically all finishers, because we've seen crazy good race. And yeah, the next race coming up is the WEC race at our series, which unfortunately will not be live streamed. But if you're interested, the link to our homepage and every other important information is down below in the video description. The next live streamed race will be on November 2nd at the Yas Marina circuit, as TCC returns for round 8 of the 2019 2 championship. And I hope you enjoyed watching the whole scenery as well, the whole race as well. And up until then, from my side, goodbye and thank you for watching.
User was moved out of your channel.